Still giving all the given time. I take your conversation. I tell the world that I was fine. I'm not afraid of this blessing.
And so we continue our journey of discovery through the magnificent city of Barcelona. We will visit Picasso's museum and of course the number one of the city, the Sagrada Familia. For all those who missed the previous episode, be sure to watch the first part from last time. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Good morning! Day 3 of our city trip in Barcelona. Today we are heading to a small town on the at the edge of the city of Barcelona. It's called Pueblo Seco, which means dry village. And that's because when they built this village for the working class, there was no water supply, so that's why it's called Pueblo Seco. And in this town there's a hill where you can go up to visit the castle, and there should be magnificent views. So let's check it out. It's also possible to visit this town with these cable cabins behind me, but we're just gonna do it by bike. But that was certainly not the easiest path.
It's climbing.
Work. We have to leave our bikes behind because from now on it's only steps. We're still 2 kilometers from destination. Could have been a lot easier if we took the cable cabins, but you know, that's not the way we do it. So, after a walk of a few hours, we arrived at a castle, seriously exhausted, but the view from here is really stunning. Montjuïc Castle played a role in the city's history as a fortress. The first fortifications on the site of the current castle were built at the end of the 1740s, during the Catalan uprising. This was a rebellion against the presence of Castilian troops in Catalonia. During the Spanish War of Independence, the French took the fortress and used it as a prison until the Spanish recaptured it. I hope it doesn't rain on the boat because I forgot to close a hatch in the saloon. After its dismantling as a prison in 1978, after the fall of the Franco regime, the fortress was transferred to the municipality of Barcelona in 2008. Hello! It intends to use it for civilian purposes, as an exhibition space, as an international center for peace, but also for cultural events and other activities. Montjuïc Castle was worth a visit and a nice excursion between visits to the busy city. The lower and the closer we get to the city again, how higher the temperature is rising again.
Now we have to do about 150 steps and we are on our bikes. Let's do this.
They're okay. No flat tires. From now on it's gonna be easier.
Normally, yes.
and we filled the rest of this day with another short visit to the city itself. Such an amazing buildings here in Barcelona. Great architecture. So, day 4 of our city trip in Barcelona, and today we have made a reservation for the Museum of Picasso. So that's where we are going right now. And there's already a queue for the 11:30 session. Maybe we should just go in and see who stops us. Pablo Picasso was born on October 25th in 1881 in the Spanish coastal city of Malaga. His mother was a housewife and his father was a curator at a local museum, and also worked as an art teacher at the Escuela del Arte San Telmo. Pablo Picasso learned to paint from his father at an early age. It is even said that the child prodigy could paint before he could talk. At the age of 8, he was already a very good oil painter. His oldest painting dated from 1890, when he was only 9 years old. When Picasso went to La Lonya, the art school in Barcelona, he skipped the beginner's course and started as an advanced one. Not much later, Picasso was one of Barcelona's best painters. We all know Picasso, of course, from his abstract works, but he only started painting them later in life. You can view the entire trajectory of his career in the Barcelona Museum. Today, Picasso is almost more known for his women than for his art. He was an inveterate womanizer who treated his muses like goddesses until he lost his heart on another beauty and was demoted to a footmat. Despite all his erotic escapades, Picasso remained a prolific artist until his death on April 8 in 1973. Picasso left some 45,000 paintings, ceramic works, sculptures, prints and etchings, and his fortune was estimated at between 95 and 230 million euros. The most expensive painting from his collection, sold after his death, is sold for $179.4 million. So we finished our tour of the Picasso Museum, and did you like it?
It was okay for me, but I thought I want to see more.
Yeah, more special paintings, but it's just a period of his life when he draws this abstract art, I think it's called, I don't know. But yeah, we've seen his whole evolution in his life and all his different stages in his life and his different kind of projects. So it was kind of interesting.
Yes, but that was Barcelona. I don't know whether it is in Madrid or Paris. So.
Oh, there's other museums of him.
Of course.
Learn something new. So here we are at last, day 5 of our city trip in Barcelona, and we made it to the #1 highlight of Barcelona.
Sagrada Familia.
So we just passed security check, and it's like in the airport. And okay, now we got in, and we're gonna have a look.
Yeah.
The Sagrada Familia is one of the city's masterpieces. It all started in the year 1866 when the bookseller and philanthropist Joseph Maria Boccabella founded the Spiritual Association of Worshippers of Saint Joseph. Soon after its creation, This association began lobbying for the construction of a house of worship dedicated to the Holy Family. Thanks to various donations, the association was able to purchase a piece of land of 12,800 square meters. In 1882, the project was drawn up by the architect Francisco de Paula del Villar. It was a classic design with the features of that time with neo-Gothic elements, ogival windows, flying buttresses and a pointed bell tower. Due to disagreements about the cost of materials, his work was transferred to Antoni Gaudí, an architect who had built many buildings in Barcelona. This took a completely different tack and presented an ambitious design for the church of the future. Antoni Gaudí worked on this project until his death in 1926 and only saw the bell tower completed. In 1936, the church was vandalized during the Spanish Civil War. Plans and photographs are burned and the plaster model smashed. Meanwhile, we are 140 years later and the church is still not completely finished. It is estimated that this will take place in 2026.
So, Sagrada Familia, bucket list, ka-ching!
Kitchen.
So, our last evening in Barcelona, and we are ending with Spanish paella. It's the second time that we have it this week in this restaurant because it was really good. Right? Good. So, salud. See you tomorrow in Blanes.
The next morning, we continued our journey further along the coast of Spain.
We are leaving Port Olympic in Barcelona. We have a nice day here. Only a pity of our friends, but it is what it is. And hopefully we see them on another place. But now we go further with our trip.
But not without first sailing along the famous beach of Barcelona.
With all the discotheques, Pasha, Opium.
Blanes was on the program, but the weather gods decided otherwise.
It's now 6:15 p.m. and the wind just dropped completely. So I'm running now on engine, heading for shore where we are going to anchor for the night, and tomorrow when the wind picks up again we are going further to Blanes. But now it has no meaning to keep on going for another 5 hours on engine just to get there. So we've got time, so we call it a day. Good morning and welcome at the beach of Ferenis de Mar. We had quite a good night of sleep, a little bit of swell but really nothing to bother, and now we are heading for Palomas, where it should be easier to get ashore to get some grocery, because here it's not so easy. There's a supermarket, a Mercadona at the end of town, but there's a railway between the beach and the supermarket, so you have to go through the town and then cross the train rail and then go to the end of town, and that's gonna be quite a walk. So we're gonna skip this time for doing grocery here, and we're heading for Palomas, and hopefully it's gonna be easier over there. There should be a nice anchorage and also a dock where we can leave the dinghy, so that's always handy. But quite a nice beach here in Arenis, and must be a lovely town according to the reviews, but yeah, we have to move on. There's gonna be a little bit easterly winds this afternoon, so that's perfect for us to get further north. And yeah, we're gonna grab this opportunity to move on. There's a nice big boat entering the harbor. We found a tiny spot here to anchor yesterday evening at the entrance of the harbor, but there should be a lot of space here to anchor. But as everywhere here in Spain, especially on the Costa Brava, they are putting yellow buoys to mark the so-called swimming zone, but there's no one who's gonna swim so far into the sea, so it's just to prevent there will be too much people on anchor here, and you should go into the paid marina, of course. Just had a small argue with the with the rowing club, who wants to practice just where I was anchored. But I didn't move, and they just rowed by, so that's okay. Time to go! Passing this beautiful cape, Puntas des Carts, with this lighthouse on top of the hill. Very beautiful. We are now already 6 hours on the way. The first few hours we had to run on engine because we had wind on the nose. But after a few hours, when our battery were recharged, I hoisted the sails, and since then we are tacking along the coast. Still have to go 13 nautical miles, so we have some hours ahead of us. So the last tack is done, and now in a straight line to the anchorage of Palomas, where we're gonna be just before sunset, I think. A really beautiful coastline with the building in the background, and the sun is going under. Another magnificent view. And here we are. But we are not alone this time. It seems like there is plenty of place, but I would like to try to put myself over there in the corner, so we get way out of the swell, but I don't know if that's possible. We'll see.
And Wim and Ria are also here.
Yeah, the Dutch people who we said goodbye a few days ago in Barcelona, and we meet already again.
And I think they're over there. Okay, the night on anchor was good, and now we're gonna on shore, and it's very cloudy here.
We weekend in Spain.
Yeah. And the plan is to go to the fresh market, but it's gonna close at 1 o'clock. And hopefully we are in time. We're gonna see. And otherwise it's gonna be for another day.
So we are just back from into town to pick up some groceries at the fresh market, and we thought, let's go back to the boat and have a swim. But in these few hours, this anchorage is transformed in a playground for the weekend. Have a look.
This was truly a water amusement park, with even ice cream sellers on the water.
That's a good idea.
In such a busy anchorage,
This one is really close to me.
it is sometimes necessary to use an anchor ball so that the others can see where your anchor is dropped, and hopefully they do not get tangled with their anchor over yours. Then a quick swim to Wim and Rhea to agree on what we're gonna do next.
And how was it over there?
Wim's lock had grown with shells and did not indicate any speed,
He took advantage of me.
Oh,
so I cleaned it on the water so that we had the correct speed measurement again.
That measures the speed underwater. Was also blocked, so I just cleaned it a little bit. Checked this anchor. If it wasn't in the Posidonia, but it wasn't, so they're good.
Time to take a quick look at the town. It didn't take long before we were already sitting on a terrace.
it's gonna be tasty. And now we have the main course. It looks delicious. Evan? Of course. It looks delicious.
Beautiful.
So we enjoyed our evening together. We have no idea how long it will be before we bump into these lovely people again.
And we are back on the road again. We left this afternoon from Palamos because the wind was shifting from the north to the south, so it was time to move on further on north. We don't know where we're gonna stop today because there's not much wind, only 8.5, 8.7 knots of wind coming straight from behind. So I had my my Genoa out with the pole and the mainsail and the staysail, and we are going now 3.4 knots speed over ground, and we have to go another 12 nautical miles, so another 4 hours before we are at our next anchorage, and that should be at the Bay of L'Escala.
We're gonna anchor on Puerto de Escala, and tomorrow we're gonna see where we can do the laundry, and we're gonna see how it is in the city over there.
Hi guys, another beautiful morning in Spain at the bay from La Scala, where we had a fantastic night, really quiet, but during daytime it's gonna be something else here at the bay. Lot of water activities, children who are learning to sail, to waveboard, and all kind of other water activities here in this bay. But it's really hot, but I still have a good time. This is what I like about this part of Spain. There are possibilities to shelter. When the wind is coming from the south, you can hide. From the north, you can hide. Just from the east, it's a little bit of a problem, but Most of the time it's just from the north and the south that the wind is blowing, so no problems at all. You have plenty of bays around here with a small town where you can provision, do the laundry, or just walk around the beach. So it's nice over here.
Although there are many anchorages in this region, it can still be difficult to find a good spot. Not because of the wind or waves, but because of the protected Posidonia seagrass.
So today we are heading for the other side of the bay. The wind is going to shift this afternoon because I think they call it the Tramadura. That's some kind of prevailing winds from this area, and it starts to blow this afternoon and tomorrow. So when we are on that side of the bay, we are on the lee side, and we should be protected by the land over there. So I think we're fine. We are approaching Roses, and just a few minutes ago the wind died, and I just lowered the sails because we have only 1 mile to go, and in just 1 minute the wind turned to the north and it picked up until 13 knots right now. So I guess that's the start of the Tremadura. I'm curious how hard it's gonna blow. Just went in for a dive, and guess what? We are in the middle of a Posidonia field, and there's nothing around us with sand. So we are going to lift the anchor and try it a few hundred meters further on. There should be some sand at the bottom, as far as I can see on the satellite images. So gotta go. So we have been searching for a spot without Posidonia with our dinghy, and I think we found a place a few hundred meters further on. So let's go over there.
We are now on a new spot, and Anthony is going to see if there is Posidonia. And how was the trip down?
The anchor is dropped in sand, but the chain is still in the Posidonia. Yeah, it's terrible.
So we have to search for a new spot.
Yeah, search for a new spot? No, we have to go closer to shore. Then there's a whole area without any Posidonia. So last time.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah.
That's the third time.
Yeah.
Okay, finally. We're good.
Next time at Sailing Me Sea, we go ashore in Rosas, which gives us the feeling of being in Greece. The dreaded Tramontana makes itself felt. We enjoy a wonderful trip to Puerto de la Selva, where they try to chase us away at the anchorage. After Spain, it is time for the famous chic French Riviera that we will experience together with Charlotte and her family. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment. It's always nice to hear what you thought. Of course, those who have not yet subscribed are welcome to do so. You're doing us a huge favor. Until next time, guys. Bye.